Okay, alright, testing. We've got things ramped up, ready to go. Gonna have like a get the lights up. Turn the lights up. Alright, okay. So, welcome everyone to... There we go, that's better. Welcome everyone to the live stream, the What If Roundtable for yet another week. I am joined by my pals Sophie and Haverok. So, hello guys.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello indeed. Hello. And we have got a lot to get through. We've got like at least a dozen of these to get through, and it's not even started yet. So, the way this works is, the way YouTube is right now, we would need your help by leaving a super chat in the chat below, and we will assess in real time and as quickly as succinctly as possible your what if. So if you leave a super chat, that way it can get seen because the chat goes by really quickly. Basically, that's how you get it seen. So, or you can become a member by going to join down below where it says right there. So you can become a member of the channel and you'll be able to support it then. That means we can keep making what ifs, because that's always pretty much what I do now. It's my thing. It's my jam, pretty much. Well, let's start off with Paparacha. And, oh wow, he's got like 5. He's got 5, so we got a big start. So, at first he goes, what if Gohan went to Ox King for help after dropping Goku? Okay, what if Goku and Chichi were raised as siblings? Who wants to take this one on?
Interesting. Well, it all depends kind of on how you feel about that aspect, because I know that it could wind up being a situation where if they were raised as siblings, they're less likely to get married in the future. But at the same time, there's an entire subset of anime that's about step siblings having relationships. Maybe they'd be closer on an emotional level, but yeah. I don't think it would change their relationship too much, because Goku would probably still be the same person he is. He just have a closer relationship with Chichi and the Ox King.
Yeah,
I think he will be a little bit more knightly, but mostly the same. Like he'll be
maybe a
little
little
bumbling
more
knight.
heroic.
Yeah.
in short, it'd be like, no, we can't do this. We're related. Not by blood. Oh, that's okay then. But yeah, his next one was, what if Dragon Ball crossed over with OKKO? You'll be my best friend. So, yeah. Well, if Sonic, all I can say is Sonic the Hedgehog could do that, then Dragon Ball can. Because they both have Super Saiyans. Oh, wait.
I have no idea what OKKO is, so I cannot add to that.
Yeah.
It's pretty much another underrated animation series from the Cartoon Network Studios. Absolutely. But it's definitely a good one. Paparacha, what if Goku was able to learn the transformation again after seeing Oolong and Poir? Basically, if Goku could learn to transform... I mean, this is going off the back... Oh, by the way, the Nerd King, thank you so much for that donation. Just thought I'd point it out there. Very much obliged, sir. Your liege. But so basically, it's just taking a whole Oolong and Poir. It took us years to transform. Goku goes, oh, hey, that's cool. I'll go and do it. Boom, he can do it.
I'm actually thinking about delving into some aspects of the transformation technique in possibly a future what if, or even a future part of one of my what ifs I'm already doing.
Okay.
Just because of the fact that Pois and Oolong kind of get overlooked, like even in the later portions of Dragon Ball, but it's like what they have is indeed like it's a martial arts technique. They went to a school in order to learn transformation. So who knows how that might help or synergize with other things, you know, as far as like techniques in Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, etc. go.
Absolutely.
To add upon that, if Goku had that, he would use that to piss off Vegeta. Like, come on. Hey, Vegeta, look, I'm you. Oh, pride, I am a prince of all Saiyans.
I wish I was a carrot.
Oh, I could be that too. See? Kind of cool, eh? It'd just be like Vegeta going like, that's it, I'm out of here. I do not do gag mangas. pretty much what he is.
I think it would be used as a joke.
Oh,
and a
definitely,
gag.
no doubt.
Oh, definitely.
All
We
right.
should probably move on to the next what ifs.
Paparacha's what if no one could fly? Well, people would die pretty much because they wouldn't have been able to make it in time, and things would have really been happen. So basically, if Goku couldn't get back after Snake Way, everyone on Earth would have been dead. Like there would have been no opportunity for him to get back in time. So I think, long and the short of it is, people gonna die.
They'd have to rely more on devices, whether
Yes.
it was like a jetpack or the Nimbus or
Yeah.
like Tao Pai Pai's like throne pillar that he uses as a mode of transportation.
Exactly.
Frieza would actually need to use his throne more often to fly. Imagine Frieza just walking. That would be weird.
That would be weird. That just doesn't
Imagining
suit me.
anybody walking in these days is kind of weird because
Yeah.
everyone learned the flight technique.
Yeah, no, right? Definitely. But yeah, Paparachas again. What if Jiro fixed 17 and 18? As in, like, pretty much made them do what they're supposed to do? It's basically what happened in History of Trunks.
Yeah.
That's what they did.
Yeah.
They pretty much did that. George
Yeah,
J.
pretty much.
George J.
Go
What
ahead.
if Nam, Ranfa, and Bacteria and Giran trained like Goku? So basically, if all the people from the 21st, 22nd martial arts tournament trained under Roshi, I think you'd have they'd become a team, as George J would have said, called the Subs. Substitute Z Fighters. I like the name. I like that name. That's
a
good
cool
name.
idea for a spin-off, actually. That's
It
a
would
very
actually
cool
be.
idea.
It would be interesting if they actually like didn't train under the Turtle School, but rather they kind of banded together under Tin Shinhan, and then Tin Shinhan kind of had his own sort of mirror group to Goku's. Like Tin Shinhan is himself kind of a Z fighter, but he also has these substitute fighters from the Crane School.
Of course, he would.
Oh my
definitely
god!
respect
And,
them
and listen, and their Saiyan is Tarball.
yeah, Token Saiyan of the
That'd be
group.
great.
that's glorious. That's absolutely glorious. Kenny Aruda. There's a mission in Attack of the Saiyans where Goku fights Raditz in Hell during the Saiyan saga. What if you also met Bartok and Gine down there? Well, I think if Gine and Bartok if Gine did exist in around when Attack of the Saiyans came out for the DS, they might have added it. Probably, they'll have some like dialogue or something like that. Because Attack of the Saiyans was a pretty good game.
Yeah.
Pretty solid. So I think having that extra backstory would have actually done it really well. Done it quite a lot of justice, I think. Definitely. But George J, again, what if Cell reincarnated like Oob? How would that elaborate?
I think he's asking like Super Boo when he's dead, his soul is purified and reincarnated into Oob. He's saying, what if Cell had a reincarnation a la Oob, being the reincarnation of Super Boo?
Oh, I see.
Or Kid Boo, sorry.
You'd
Kid
have
Boo.
Lek.
Lek.
You'd have Lek.
Leak.
Not so
Oh my
perfect
God.
Lek.
A Saiyan. He reincarnates into a Saiyan named Leek.
Leak. Pretty much. That's canon, because he has Saiyan DNA. It's good enough. Paparacha again. What if after Piccolo and Junior Goku became a Hercule-like celebrity and champion of Earth? So basically, if Goku decided to embrace the limelight after the 23rd tournament, instead of just going like, I'm gonna go into the forest and have a kid. Ciao. I think Chichi would be in a much happier situation.
I don't know. I think it would kind of be a little bit like Rocky 3, you know, where this guy who's not prepared for being the champ winds up becoming the champ, and then like in order to kind of maintain that celebrity status, he'd be kind of fed these fights that everybody knows aren't going to give him any kind of challenge, and then it leads to unhappiness on both his and Chi-Chi's like spot, especially if he embraces it and becomes kind of materialistic and stuff.
Also, it might have ended with Jiro attempting to get rid of Goku much earlier when he was public.
That's true. He'd have been in the limelight, and basically everyone would have known where he was. And by the way, guys, let's get the stream to 200 likes.
Give us your beautiful thumbs.
gently tap the
Yes.
like button, please. We would like to get that to
Please.
200 likes. 'Cause that means
Lend us your thumbs.
There we go. That's more like it. Good job, guys. Good job. It's great. 105. Let's get it to 200.
I like.
All right, let's carry on because we haven't gotten to the backlog from before the stream yet. So, Papa Archer, what if Z ended after Cell and Boo was the first arc in Super? That would actually be good in terms of a tonal shift because there is a big tonal shift between the Cell and Boo sagas.
Yeah, if we'd have had a gap in time, like between that, like in IRL, and then you had this new series that introduced Boo as this big threat that needed Goku to come back, I think that would have worked better thematically.
Definitely.
And maybe Gohan would be kept as a main character, or we would get the Great Conference saga.
And it would probably be called that. I just know it. Definitely. Timothy Ron asks, when will the next What If discussion? Next week, when we revisit the topic of Super Saiyan 3 and how we can rewrite it to make it better. You hear it here.
Because you know how we love it.
That was the video that the YouTube algorithm looked at 3 years ago and went like, yes, people need to know about this. And without that video, the channel would not be where it is right now. So this is a topic.
Screaming man without eyebrows.
Yes, pretty much. I mean, we'll elaborate more, but not much more. But you'll see it next week. Ending Swine. What if Masako did a collab? What if? Well, like doing a collaboration and stuff. I actually did want to do one with Birdkeeper Toby, who does like Pokemon stuff, and go like, hey, what if Pokemon existed in the Dragonball world? Who would be the daily driver Pokemon for each character? So like work together with a Poketuber. Just go like, hey, how would that work? Or a
Goku
JoJo tuber?
Munchlax. Goku had Munchlax.
Oh yeah, of course. Definitely. Red Dragon.
Vegeta would have a Sneasel.
Sneasel, definitely. But we'll elaborate on that. Red Dragon Force 2. Hey Masako, what if Crillon was born female? Well,
I could answer that, I think.
Shoot, go for it.
I think that if Crillon was born female, I think that there would be a sort of situation there where maybe Crillon would have kind of an interest in Goku, but I also think it would make their rivalry that much more fierce because Crillon would have that much more to prove. In order for that to work, considering that Crillon was raised in the Orient Temple, Crillon would have probably had to be passed off as a boy anyway, since a lot of those times those temples are male only.
Yes.
And beyond that, I think that like if Fem Crillon ever learned about this betrothal that Chichi tried to put on Goku, I think that it would lead up to Crillon attempting to go toe-to-toe with Chichi at the World Martial Arts Tournament as a sort of literal fight to see who kind of like gets to confess.
That's cool. And I just immediately thought of the name Crillon. So it'd be Crillon, 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 Crillon.
Yeah.
No, I think
that would be interesting. I think it would be interesting.
Yeah, no,
or she would be, a member of very different monastery altogether.
Oh, Firebrand 128. What if Vegeta actually fought Nail on Namek? It depends. If he fought when, yeah. Like, if he arrived on Namek after he fought Zarbon transformed? If it was between those two times, he'd be gone. Nail would have taken him out, and Nail would not have held back. And I think Nail would have absolutely trounced Vegeta at that point. Like, once the Ginyu Force arrived, though, Vegeta gets that huge Zenkai boost. It's like, no, not after that. And I actually had a funny what if that I was thinking about on the drive home. Billy and I went on for a couple of days vacation. What, Goldo versus Dio? Who would win? And I was actually thinking, oh dang, Goldo would actually stand a pretty good chance.
It all kind of depends, because Goldo is dumb enough that he doesn't think not to kind of gloat in his own head. And, like, I mean, we even see that in his fight against Krillin and Gohan, that even though he distinctly has the upper hand, he takes so long kind of patting himself on the back mentally
Well,
that
Dio
he
does
winds up
that
not
too, in
doing
a
anything.
way.
Yeah, but as far as I'm aware, Zawardo does not have the same kind of hold your breath style limitations as Goldo's time freeze.
10 seconds. 10 seconds as far as... I mean, there's potential to do more. It's 10 seconds max.
Oh, well, if it's 10
Stardust.
seconds max.
Yeah, but Goldo, if Goldo can hold his breath for a minute, he can either run away or he can do what he wants, pretty much.
Yeah, he would need to increase his breath capacity. And then, of course, there is his actual Esper-like powers when he goes, like, full on.
No, definitely. Yeah, no, that was just a fun little thing I was just going to go, like, yeah, I think that has something to it. That's like, it's one of those things that describes it in the GIF of just like, oh, wait a minute. It's like, there's something to this. But anyway, let's carry on. Grant Amelie. What if the Super Saiyan transformation was like Broly's? Like every Saiyan was the legendary Super Saiyan. More planets would have blown up, pretty much. And we wouldn't have had any more character development.
Yeah, especially if all of the Saiyans are going berserk every time they hit it.
Yeah, no, definitely. If the Super Saiyan berserk was a thing...
Yeah, Beerus would have blown them, ages ago.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. He wouldn't have given them the time of day. Because there's like... Yeah, they're strong, but what's the point? You can't control them.
Ticking bombs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but come on, guys, get the likes up to 200. We're 158. Red Dragon Force 2 asks, "Well, if dumpling and pudding were canon, it'd be a much sweeter place because there are dumplings and puddings. A much sweeter place, if only." What if
I have mixed feelings on dumpling and pudding?
I think a lot of them do. A lot of people do. Zach Trandom. What if Piccolo remained a villain? Well, basically, I did a what if called What If Dragon Ball Z Didn't Happen? So basically, Piccolo would take Gohan and would indoctrinate him. And basically, we would have a revenge arc. It would be Piccolo's revenge. Instead of the Vegeta saga, it would be the Piccolo revenge saga. Yeah. So basically, it would be that, with Goku having to fight his son and try and regain control.
Which would have been interesting.
It would have been interesting, definitely. But check it out. What if the Dragon Ball Z didn't happen? So you check out that one. Nick Panther. What if Krillin used the Dragon Balls to become a Saiyan? Ah, tale as old as time. Yeah. Well, Sophie does do a thing that is similar.
Mine is what if Krillin had a power-up.
Yes.
It's a what if that's over on my channel. The latest part actually released on Monday. If you want to go check it out. But it's about them developing Kaioken into a new transformative technique using Roshi's full power muscle form transformation as kind of a basis.
Ooh.
Not quite the same thing, but it's pretty good. I've had fun writing it. So.
Yeah. Now you have those what ifs that you really enjoy writing, and I think that's one of yours, right?
Yes.
No, definitely. Absolutely. Okay. Nick Wolf. Two for Z Fighter Bulma. So basically from the one that what if Bulma trained like Goku. Does Bulma incorporate her shrink watch and her fighting style like Ant-Man Wasp? What if Bulma sciences a super soldier serum for Saiyan S cells for herself? Oh my god, so many S's. Jeez. What if Bulma sciences a super soldier serum for Saiyan S cells for herself?
Quite the alliteration.
Yeah.
That's but so basically I think this is
that would be super spectacular.
I know that Masako has kind of decided to start going a sort of Iron Man or rescue route with a Bulma like becoming a fighter situation. I might consider exploring Bulma becoming like an actual martial arts style fighter utilizing other means of science later on. Yeah. I don't have any hard ideas for it just yet, but that's actually very interesting, and I'll keep that in mind as far as her sciencing some Super Saiyan S cells.
Yeah, no, definitely. basically the way I was thinking about it is that she goes science route first because she is not a fighter and she doesn't really have the inclination to go at it as much as the others, at least in her teens. She'd be basically like, I'm going to learn enough, so that means I can actually use the suit and I have the basic concept, and at the same time I look good doing it. So it's like, it's a win-win pretty much. I could kick some ass pretty much.
I would say, her experiments with S cells in this regards, like Bulma as Vayne, and we love her for it. It's very human. So
yeah.
I would say like she even may try to use S cells as some sort of anti-aging.
Yes.
Stuff.
I think she would actually do that later on. I mean, basically, she'll realize that when she's in her 30s, like around the Boo Saga, she's thinking, Goku has not aged since he was a kid. Like, from like 18 to his mid-30s, he's not aged at all. And the same for Vegeta, pretty much. He's just gotten bulkier. So you'd be just thinking, well, there's got to be something to this. So basically, at the middle of the night, she just takes out like one of Vegeta's hairs. Just goes like...
Honestly, I'm not super happy with the interpretation of Bulma being that vain. It's not as if it's completely out of character, and I know that Dragon Ball Super Broly kind of went ahead and canonized that aspect of her mind with what she wanted the Dragon Balls for, but it would be a fun idea to explore, like her concept of maybe experimenting with the S cells. It would actually be interesting if, like, the dramatic twist of it is she experiments with the S cells specifically because she wants the anti-aging factor, and winds up getting like the fighting bloodthirst as kind of like an unexpected
that
side
was the
effect.
idea. Yeah, that was the general idea that she started with this, because like anti-aging thing, like I think it's very human. Like I think her being a little bit vain is very human, very relatable.
I think it'd be more also for the fact about more about mortality, and as in like these guys don't age; they could live for ages. Little does she know about the fact that they Saiyans just age differently.
Yeah,
it's something I do. Anyway, Golden Frieza says, "What if Zamasu stole Hit's body?" I think he'd actually struggle to get anything out of it, because time skip. That's a unique thing that no one else can do. Saiyans are just very tough. Whatever race that Hit Cell is, he's probably the only one. And there's
he's very secretive, so he wouldn't easily found somebody to teach him how to use
there's
it.
no clue. He doesn't train. He just has this power. He's always had this power.
You kind of have to realize that stealing Goku's body was a very, very personal thing for Zamasu. Like, the reason he does it is because Goku mopped the floor with him in that confrontation.
Yeah.
And so you'd have to write in a situation where he would be driven to that same sort of personal reason for wanting Hit's body over Goku's.
To jump into this, a much easier choice would be Jiren, because Jiren is just basic key. Jiren would be easier to drive.
He's such an empty shell. That's a good point.
Yeah.
No, definitely.
Jiren would be much easier.
Yeah, no, definitely. Michael Connell, what if Chichi traveled with Goku and Dragon Ball? I don't think at the time Toriyama had that planned. As in, like, at the time when she was a kid, Chichi was meant to be the very timid, doe-eyed princess. Like, I'm so demure, tee-hee. Oh, Goku, you're my prince, charming knight in shining armor. And that
she
didn't
put up
work.
a tough front, but she was kind of meek underneath that mask.
Well, Toriyama was like wanted to try and do that and realized, I can't write that. I'm just gonna default to what I usually do. Pretty much.
Yay.
He gave up, pretty much. He gave up with that and hoped people would forget that she was like that. But yeah. I mean, so he just went back to what he normally does. But
that feels like an interesting what if, like, her change can be added, like toughening her up would be an interesting idea.
Or I think it would be less jarring if she basically got tougher over time. Like,
yes.
As in, like, she'd be with Goku and, like, kind of learn his ways and techniques and stuff. I think that could be interesting, and I think that would make them even more compatible because she'd actually get him. She would actually understand what Goku does and why he does it.
And she would understand what she gets into, because that's also kind of important.
And after 3 years, or maybe whatever, like growing up to be adults, and I still want to marry this guy, she would have to absolutely 100%, know what she's signing up for, and she cannot complain. That's the thing. She's found out a lot of all these things after they got married, and then it's not kind of realized, oh, okay, I've got to adapt. So I think if she'd adapted sooner, like when they were kids, I think this could easily be quite interesting. But let's keep moving. Dark Snake X5. Hey, Masako, what if Bulma had modified the Sensu Beans to give a Zenkai boost? Well, they kind of do. When a Saiyan takes a Sensu Bean, that's pretty much what happens.
But if you're saying, like, everybody could get a Zenkai boost from eating a Sensu Bean, then
right.
Then it kind of becomes an issue, because you have to ask yourself, well, does the Sensu Zenkai stack with a natural Saiyan Zenkai, or is this just an easy way of, like, maybe getting the human Zenkai boosts as well without having to give them Saiyan biology? It's an interesting thing to consider, especially if you think about how often people like Krillin or Yamcha wind up getting Yamcha'd.
They take Sensu Beans all the time, but I mean, if
also you don't want to give perfect Sensu Bean in that.
No, that would be an extra
Oh,
Zenkai.
Thanks, Goku. I feel great.
Oh yeah, that's some good shit. That's even gooder shiz. But yeah, no, that's the thing. What if you did that with Cell? Yeah, no, you're done, pretty much.
I imagine Gohan would be a lot more angry at his father for throwing
probably
that
would have actually just gone like, absolutely no. Like, he would have stopped it. DevDog Productions. What if Bartok was sent to the future? Depends which future. If he was sent to the future, Trunks is, well, oh no, he'd die. He'd die, pretty much. But I think it would really depend. There would be nothing he'd recognize. That's the whole point. His journey back into the past was there to be like, oh, this was planet Vegeta, like, before the Saiyans. Oh, okay. I'm the legendary Super Saiyan. Yeah. It's like, there's no reason.
If you want to think about it like, okay, well, maybe what they mean is like, oh, well, what if he was sent to Earth in the future, like in age, 780 or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Or whenever something else like that takes place. I think one of the biggest issues that I have with a lot of Bartok arriving on Earth or reconnecting with his son concepts for what ifs is that Bartok's not a nice guy. No. Bartok's done like one good thing in his entire life, and that was saving Goku's life. But like the remainder of his life, whether you're looking at him as just an ordinary Saiyan like minus or special or Bartok from the father of Goku special, he is not a nice guy. No. And I don't think that he would be happy with his son's direction in life. I don't think he and Goku would get along.
The least he could do, he would like, okay, live your life. I'm going out of this rock. I get a spaceship. I go out.
Pretty much, He
I go my way.
Pretty much. Manifesto. What if MasakoX did a discussion video on the Ocean dub in DBZ and Blue Water dub in GT? We didn't all get in Britain grow up with that one especially. I think we actually did. I remember in the UK that we actually flitted between the funny dub and the Ocean dub of Z.
Oh my gosh.
Every 20 episodes, we'd suddenly go from Brian Drummond to Sabat and then back again. Like
going from the Prince of all Saiyans down to the Prince of all Saiyans in between episodes.
And then Goku going from like this all the time. But then looking, oh my god, it's like the kind of Kirby Morrow Goku. Bless him, he's trying. But I'm like,
Saiyan voices are breaking a little bit differently than human voice.
Kirby does a good job in making Goku seem very mellow. And I'm like,
I will say Kirby Morrow's Super Saiyan 3 transformation is a far cry from Schimmel's.
Like, I don't think they gave him enough takes. I think
they didn't.
No, they did that. They rushed it. But
I never heard it actually.
Go and watch it. Bless him, he tried. And that's the thing. I've got nothing against Kirby Morrow. He is a valiant Goku. He's a pretty good voice in general. but I think that one's on the directors. They should have really just said, okay, we'll record that another time. We need to make sure we get it right. So yeah, that's
definitely.
on the directors, to be honest. Revolt Lars Wolfblade. What if Broly in some way got turned into an android with the infinite engine? Game over.
If he had the infinite engine, it pretty much, it's one of those situations where if you're fighting an enemy that never tires, it's a problem.
Yeah.
But you also have to ask yourself, because we only ever see modified humans with the infinite engine, you have to ask yourself just how compatible would cybernetics and those kinds of additions be with something like a Super Saiyan transformation. Because it's kind of one of the things I talk about in one of my what ifs is that, like, you can't always account for artificial enhancements or prosthetics or anything like that to be compatible with the sudden strain of something like Kaioken or Super Saiyan or anything like that. And like Broly, I mean, if you were going off of just like, say, even Dragon Ball Super Broly, but original Broly, especially, like, Broly's legendary Super Saiyan transformation is so violently explosive that it destroys his body. Like, he blows up literally to become the legendary Super Saiyan. What kind of effect would that have on his cybernetics?
Oh, definitely. I mean, there's, like, as you say, compatibility rules the roost.
Guy would implode.
Yeah, I think in terms of writing a narrative to make it balanced, it would work up to a point, and then it would start getting corrupted, it would become less reliable, and then ultimately it would just nullify his abilities, and he would just be like, yeah, no. And
I think if compatibility wasn't an issue, I think that Jiro would have included the infinite engine into Cell, but he didn't, because it's like, I mean, the infinite engine in and of itself, like, there was always kind of these implications that it was a little bit wonky, and it might have even caused some of the problems with keeping 17 and 18 programmed correctly, which is one of the reasons why he shifted the design for 19 and his own body, Android 20.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and I felt like, that it's a good thing, but it just wasn't the thing in his vision, definitely. I personally think it was foolish, because the infinite engine's amazing. But anyway, we must move on. Alejandro Gonzalez. What if Ginyu's body changed to turn his body into a copy of his target instead of swapping bodies? So basically, change now was basically copy now. So Ginyu would just change the body and the original person. So basically, he'd just copy the powers. He'd become Ditto, pretty much.
Yeah.
It kind of, you also have to, okay, so let's say he copies them. So are we dealing with a Ginyu who's still got the same weakness in this case, where like he has to get used to said body? Or is it like a Patafu situation where the copy is essentially perfect, and just by copying that the person, he's now able to utilize all of their techniques to 100%?
Yeah, that's a good point. I think
it would definitely feel like the Patafu arc in a lot of ways, I think.
Yeah, I think that's how it would work. And by the way, Jordan Thompson, welcome to be a brand new member. Welcome. You too can all become a member, guys, by pressing the join button underneath the screen. And those can always help. Thank you so much. Member hype. But alright, Minion of the East. What if the androids came before the Saiyan saga? Done. Oh, no, wait. Actually, no. What if Jiro basically decided, I'm just going to use all the research I did in the King up to Piccolo Jr. arc? I think if that did happen, I think the world would still be done, pretty much. But the powers would just be lower.
Didn't got the warning.
That's kind of having to work off the assumption that the androids were even ready.
Yeah.
I always kind of got the idea in my head that the androids weren't yet ready. And I mean, Dr. Jiro's very clearly something of a perfectionist. He puts Cell into stasis when he realizes it's going to take way too long. He gives that over to his supercomputer to run. He decides to not finish Android 16 because he deliberately makes him gentle because it's modeled after his son.
Yeah.
He puts 17 and 18 into stasis because they're disobedient, delinquent punks.
Yeah. pretty much.
And when all's said and done, I think like if you wanted to say, well, what if like let's say he decided to go with his failures, right, and
Yeah.
launch them early, and it was like 14, 15, or 13, 14, and 15 maybe, or something like
Yeah.
that, the world would still be like in some serious peril, and
Yeah,
the
no,
heroes might not
definitely.
be strong enough to fight him.
No, I agree.
Remember that they've been warned about the other androids, so
Yeah, they may not have gotten the warning. Definitely. By the way, member Dylan Pedersen, welcome as a brand new member. Welcome.
Oh,
Jurassic Show. What if Gohan sold the book on key control earlier? Okay, from
He
the thing that
should.
he sold in 8 and 4, he probably should have. But then at the same time, I think he probably wouldn't have done it. He wouldn't have been confident enough. He thought that people wouldn't take him seriously. I think a lot of time would have needed to happen, and the understanding of key control being a thing. So I think he needed to have some time to make sure this
But
could actually.
you
be
know,
taken
the
seriously.
build up for this book, is something that we need for Gohan desperately. Desperately.
Definitely.
Yeah, like
And
some
you also
mentioned.
kind of have to and you have to kind of remember too, like I feel like one of the reasons the book is able to even draw people in is because when all is said and done, it kind of takes Hercule finally reaching the end of his career and saying like, okay, I don't have to wear the mantle of being the champion of Earth anymore to kind of like go and give his blessing as far as like promoting
Yeah.
the book, because one of the problems with writing something like a book on key control and stuff like that, and how to be the most powerful person on the planet, is that when you have somebody who everyone believes is the most powerful person on the planet who can't use key, still kind of wearing that crown,
Yeah.
it immediately makes people like not ready to believe it.
No, definitely. Oh, by the way, new member Zach Trandom, welcome.
All these
Thank
new members.
Yeah, that's
Welcome and
great.
Thank
Let's
you.
keep it up.
Yay.
Thank you. But yeah, okay, we're half an hour behind. So let's keep going. Shaku Masquerade. What if Cooler was good inside but rivaled Frieza for King Cold's love? What if he was Frieza's Zuko? So basically, if Cooler just wanted Daddy's attention, Daddy didn't love me. I mean, basically, it goes back to the abridged thing about Goku feeling sorry for Cooler about his dad. Daddy monkey this, Daddy monkey that. Pretty much that. It'd just be expanding what happened in DBZA, I think, definitely.
Yeah.
Minion of the East. What if Frieza destroyed Gohan and not Krillin? Oh, I think he'd had an even more intense reaction from Goku.
Go watch What If Krillin Had a Power Up Part 3 on my channel.
Yeah, go watch that, pretty much.
Yeah.
Just go watch
and
that.
look forward
Yeah.
to Part 4, because there's going to be some interesting changes on account of that situation.
Wow, spoilers much?
Yeah, no, but go that should answer your question, definitely. Only Lord Mickey, what if Goku married Suno? Well, I don't know, actually. Probably he would have gotten used to the cold, definitely. And, I don't know. He'd have given Muscle... I think Goku would have eventually rebuilt Muscle Tower and be like, hey, check out this place. I'm not sure. I'm not really sure. I think this one's kind of challenging. But I think... I don't think it would work out because, like...
I mean, I don't know, like for Suno, I think Suno would be much more passive than
That's
Chichi,
true.
you know, and be like...
Suno was kind of brought in, like, as far as the anime goes, because, you know, that whole situation where they used to you know, run the anime and manga concurrently and stuff, so that you'd add a lot of filler and stuff like that. I think that because Akira Toriyama didn't know that he was going to bring in Chichi, and I've talked about this before in a discussion about the women of Dragonball with Lucia, that the anime development team kind of thought that was the direction he was going, so they added in Suno here and there to the old Dragon Ball anime where they could, up until Toriyama was like, actually, I'm gonna have him marry Chichi. At which point they stopped.
Oh, okay. Oh, oopsie. Oh, by the way, we got 2 new members as well. So we got DL Orcus and Shaku Masquerade. Thank you very much, guys, for becoming members.
Welcome.
Thank you. Manifesto. What if Yamcha and 21 Fighters 21 fell in love? Oh, he'd be experimented on. Experiment on me at 21. Please, I need to be relevant.
Oh my god. You guys know my feelings about 21.
Yeah, we know. We know your feelings about 21.
Yo, I'd say it's complicated, definitely.
It will be-
Red Dragon Force 2.
Complicated.
When What If Goku Was Evil Part 2? Oh, What If Goku Stayed Evil? I need to get back to that. I wasn't quite sure. I wasn't quite enamored with the way my version ended on it. I think I need to just take a little more time on it, just to kind of make sure I get a good understanding of it. Prangle.
Maybe do a reboot.
Maybe. I've not done that before, but I'll think about it. Prangle. What if Vegeta and Goku swapped brains roles totally? Dragon Ball Sai, pretty much. Go to Dragon Ball Sai, check out that fan manga, that's pretty much it. But yeah, Heartless Fang. What if Goku Black wasn't Zamasu, but God Ki corrupted Goku? I always have a theory that Goku Black Rose is basically the God Ki, but corrupted. Like, it's just a different shade. I think that's pretty much... It is God Ki corrupted Goku, because the mind has gone impure, but it has the God Ki. So I think that's...
Again, we had that video that was suggested to us by Holy Mountain, but like that Zamasu is basically doing necromancy on Goku's body.
Yeah, pretty much. Exactly. That Zamasu's one freaky deaky dude. Timothy Ron. What if Goku and Piccolo's species were swapped? Oh, well, basically, if Saiyans relied on basically water. Damn. I don't really know. What do you guys think?
Well, no, I think, or they meant that, you know, Piccolo was a Saiyan and
right. Well,
Goku was an Namekian, but how would that work with King Piccolo?
King Goku.
A lot would
King
have been.
Kakarot.
Well, you also have to consider the fact that if King Piccolo and Piccolo Jr. were Saiyans, that also means that Kami is a Saiyan instead of being a Namekian. Honestly, it would need a lot of tweaking, because one of the reasons Kami is able to work as a Guardian of Earth, same as Piccolo Daimao being his opposite number, is because Namekians have incredibly long lifespans. Saiyans may have long primes in the sense that like, you know, they're fighting fit until the age of 80, but they still have a human lifespan.
Yeah, it's pretty much around about the same. But yeah, that's something to consider. It's a very, very tricky one. MR Manifesto. What if Gohan gained Ultra Instinct in the Tournament of Power instead of Goku? I think that would have actually been pretty interesting. But at the same time, I don't think it would be Ultra Instinct in the way that we know it.
Yeah, technically, like me and Sophie once discussed this, that technically, if you think about it, Mystic Gohan was supposed to work kind of like Ultra Instinct. You know, it was said that he could dodge everything.
Yeah.
Well, it was supposed to be the peak of Gohan's latent potential, fully realized to the point to where he didn't need transformations, he didn't need anything. Everything was available to him, which is kind of like supposed to be similar to what they kind of describe Ultra Instinct as being. As for me personally, I would have liked it if anyone other than Goku had gotten it.
Yeah.
I'm so tired of Goku being the first one to hit all the transformations. I'm so tired of Goku being the one who gets everything. And what's more is that everything becomes assumed to be something relating to them as a Saiyan. Like the current way that the tone of the story hits all of these beats is that the Saiyans are just better than everybody. And it's like, you know, even Jiren, who, you know, is a boring character, sure, he's gained all of his power on his own without the need of a transformation.
Yeah, he worked hard.
Yeah, through hard work and everything else. And they say in the show, like they say in Dragon Ball Super, oh, Ultra Instinct's something that could theoretically be accessed by anyone. It just so happens to be that the first one to really, truly pull it off is a Saiyan. And it's like, I would have liked it better if anybody else, barring Goku and barring Frieza, I should add, anyone else had gotten it.
Yeah, no, definitely. No, that's a fair point. Anime Guy 01. What if Piccolo Jr. was raised by Kami on the lookout when Goku was training? I don't think that would have worked.
Still, that could be interesting.
Interesting. All right, we'll make a note of it. We'll make a note of it. See,
Yeah,
maybe that might...
like it could be a very strained relationship, but I like this. I
yeah,
like this one.
potentially. Let's make a note of that. King
Kind of
Adam
like
5.
raising your brother's delinquent son.
Yeah.
King Adam 5. What if Goku was raised by the Red Ribbon Army? We've talked about this a lot of the time. Jiro probably would have done very nasty experiments on Goku. And, yeah, it would not have worked out well for Goku.
Yeah, I don't think he would have been treated very kindly.
No.
I don't think that he would have. I don't even think he would have come out of it even being treated almost like a normal soldier. I think more than anything else, I think he would have wound up becoming sort of a science experiment.
Oh, of course.
Maybe even the basis of like future artificial human enhancements.
Definitely, especially when Jiro found out.
Yeah,
Jiro
like if they found him in the capsule, they would make they would attempt to make extraterrestrial contact.
Yeah, exactly. And then Jiro would have found out that Goku's DNA is different from humans, and then basically he would have thought, oh my god, I can make super soldiers out of this. So basically, Jiro may have like concocted up like Saiyan soldiers or something like that without even realizing.
Jiro, being the super genius that he is too, may have even been able to like pinpoint through gene mapping and stuff like that the secrets of like things like the Zenkai boost and the Super Saiyan transformation, and applied them to his creations. Basically, it would have meant a very, very bad future for everyone involved.
Son Goku, Red Ribbon Son.
Pretty much, yeah. Heartless Fang, what if you brought back Gohan's rage boost in Super? I think he's past that, though. The whole point of his Mystic or an Ultimate training was him to basically realize that he doesn't need the rage boost anymore. As you guys have said, it's meant that he doesn't have to rely on power-ups like that or transformations or something like that. He has everything on hand at one go. So basically, he's always angry. Yeah, so basically...
But it's a cold anger. It's a cold anger.
It's a cold anger. Yeah, it's basically a constant boot. It's a rage constant.
He's achieving the kind of synergy that you see from later, films, Bruce Banner and the Hulk.
Definitely. I would definitely say that. I agree. Paparacha, what if Plan to Eradicate the Saiyans was in Super? I'll stick to Raging Blast 2 version, thank you.
I've never seen Plan to Eradicate the Saiyans.
Yeah, check out Plan to Eradicate the Super Saiyans or the Plan to Eradicate Christmas. That's pretty much it.
I actively avoided both the Tree of Might and Plan to Eradicate Christmas on your guys' channel because they went a bit too hard on the parody aspect.
Yeah, there really wasn't much to the Plan to Eradicate the Super Saiyans. There's just not much.
I like it because it gives Cooler and Frieza interactions.
That is true. That is true. Brian Kubera, what if Future Trunks' Jiro was still alive? Ooh, I don't think.
I like that.
I do like that. Let's just make a note of that. We'll save that for a future.
Maybe you could do something like because Jiro's lab was never found in Future Trunks' timeline. Even though his physical body was destroyed by 17 and 18,
the supercomputer.
His mind uploaded to the supercomputer and then downloaded itself into Jiro's prepped Android 20 body.
Oh yeah.
Or he would be Skynet. He would be something like Skynet, like
overlooking the whole entire planet.
Yeah.
That is true. Oh, good point. Absolutely. Manifesto. What if Blue Gogeta in the Broly movie diffused and the fight continued and ended with Ultra Instinct Goku against Super Saiyan Broly and defeating him? Chile still saved him, by the way. No.
I would have been very unhappy.
Yeah. I'm glad it worked out the way it did.
Vegeta already got shafted in Dragon Ball Super's anime to shaft Gogeta in the movie just to kind of add more Ultra Instinct Goku fuel.
Yeah,
it would have really upset me.
I was just happy with the little nod to Ultra Instinct with the coloration when he was trying to go blue, and I was like, Goku was like, "Oh God, I'm trying to get Ultra Instinct. Oh no, I got blue." Poopy, I got blue.
I found Vegeta's green way more interesting.
Oh no, that was fun. That was fun.
Also,
yeah.
Also, remember that one important thing that this encounter would probably don't end well for Goku. Like I think
No.
Broly could take him. Also, with Gogeta, we finally have a fusion that can do a damn thing.
Yeah, that can
No,
actually
that
follow
achieved
through.
something.
Definitely. Yeah. Pyrrhic Rodent or Ferric Rodent? What if Bra was born first and was sent back in time instead of Trunks? Check out Sophie's What If Krillin thing. That has future Bulla.
Go ahead and check out Sophie B Powerhouse,
Yeah.
my channel. What if Krillin Part 3 has future Bulla, and there's some surprises in store for you.
Yeah, you need to check that out. So yeah, that pretty much will answer your question. Dear Orcus, what if Piccolo fused with Kami before the Saiyans arrived? Would Vegeta and Napa be even a challenge? I covered this. What if Piccolo fused early? This was one of my earliest what ifs.
Yeah.
So if you look on the
way
channel,
early.
you can check out what if Piccolo fused early. So basically, you can check that out. That will answer your question, sir. Thank you very much. Shaku Masquerade. What if Cooler was canon and all the Zuko to Frieza? Or what if Cooler was King Cold's and Frieza's enemy? I think we covered this already. I think this was a duplicate.
Yeah, I think we did. I think
Yeah,
that's
no,
a
we
double.
definitely did. No. Firebrand 128. I had some ideas for how a female Vegeta what if would go. Would you be interested in seeing them? Well, share it to the Masako subreddit, and then people can see it. So check out r/MasakoX. Do feel free to leave them there, and we will have a look at them, and you can actually post as long as you want. So thank you very much for your super chat, Firebrand, and yeah, go to the subreddit. The Jurassic Show. But no, don't worry, Shaka Masquerade. I got the apology. Don't worry about it. No worries. It's all cool. It's all good. It's all gravy on the what if train. That's the thing. Everyone can have everyone can do the same what if. It's all different interpretations. Yeah, but so the Jurassic Show for April Fools. What if Bulma was evil? Ooh, you have to describe how. As in, like, maybe when they get the Dragon Balls, Bulma makes a wish and basically gets an impulsive thing and basically does something spontaneous. Or something like that. That's, I think, the best way to do it. That's the way the catalyst.
Or she cheats them, like she just uses them to get the Dragon Balls and
yeah, and then you know, basically, you know, takes the Dragon Balls and leaves them for dust under Pilaf.
You kind of have to ask yourself, do you want her to be evil from the get-go in Dragon Ball, or maybe turn evil in Dragon Ball Z or something down the line? Like
yeah, exactly.
Like,
so
maybe if I was going to explore it, maybe I would consider a situation where it's like, maybe when the Red Ribbon Army is doing all of their stuff, Bulma offers to become a science officer in exchange for them not like assassinating Goku, and winds up finding out that she actually really enjoys making these super powerful enhanced artificial humans, and then kind of like usurps Jiro and Frapp as the android master, essentially.
Yeah,
now I am the master, Jiro.
No, that's definitely one interpretation. I would have thought that probably she'd have been absolutely vicious and relentless in destroying the Red Ribbon Army and getting to the point where she's making everyone feel uncomfortable. That's the thing, because they are great rivals.
Yeah, she would be called the supreme leader Teal, from the Teal color.
Pretty much.
Supreme leader Teal.
Yeah. Nice. Red Dragon Force 2. What if Chichi remarried before the Buu arc? Oh, Chichi wouldn't do that. No, Chichi is...
If Chichi remarried before the Buu arc, it would be to Yamcha.
Yes. Yes.
And then basically, hey Yamcha, about that offer. And it's like, I have been so patient.
You guys have no idea how much me and the other Dragon Bros have actually talked about Chi-Chi and Yamcha's relationship in the time skip between Cell and the saga.
Oh.
There's a lot of love, for Yamcha in R&R Discord.
Yeah, no, definitely. Especially after episode 4. Manifesto. What if Resurrection of C, Perfect Cell, happened instead of Frieza? Better choice, a more interesting narrative, seeking revenge on Gohan and Vegeta. Oh yeah, that probably would have been a much better story and much more inspirational, and everyone would have been more excited. But it wouldn't have happened because Cell is a pain to draw. And I don't think they actually like drawing Cell. And
I mean, now they have people can do
He
that.
also doesn't have any followers to wish him back with the Dragon
Cell
Balls.
Juniors. Cell Juniors.
Cell
If
Juniors.
some Cell Juniors managed, oh yeah, that's
And
right.
to be honest, I'd love to hear Resurrection C, Norio Wakamoto in the cinema. Just hear, basically hearing Norio Wakamoto with the R's and something like that. Just hearing him again.
Norio Wakamoto.
And then, basically Damien Clark. Hello,
Opens up-
Goku.
opens up
Absolutely
the
pleasure
movie.
to see you.
Opens up the movie with P is for perfect.
P
Yes.
is for priceless, the look upon your faces. That would have been great. Axel Magnus, what if Frieza never destroyed Planet Vegeta? Oh, he would have done. No, there was no question. His paranoia had gotten so great, he was going to do it. He just wanted an excuse, and he got it. I think if he'd never destroyed Planet Vegeta, those Saiyans would have... If he just left it alone, the Saiyans would have, rose up against him. They would have eventually gotten powerful enough to just dismantle everything from the outside in.
I think what probably would have happened is the only way that Frieza would have gone against his idea of getting rid of the Saiyans, and this is assuming that the idea that was put forth in, I can't remember if it was the manga or the anime itself, that Beerus was responsible for telling Frieza that he wanted the planet gone.
Yeah.
I think the only way Frieza would be held off from destroying it would be if King Cold managed to convince Frieza that it was more that it was more worthwhile to leave them be for a little longer, but it would have eventually resulted in Vegeta being destroyed sometime down the line. Maybe just more Saiyans might have escaped and tried to create colonies in other places, so you'd have a situation where Frieza's like, I know I destroyed the planet, but there's still more of those monkeys out there.
That's what if Bartok convinced the Saiyans.
Pretty much.
That's what if Bartok convinced the Saiyans, pretty much. So, I'd say that's pretty much answer the question. Grant Amelie, what if Frieza learned about Cell, wished him back, and they trained each other in Tournament of Power? I would love that. Because you'd have a callback to the filler from Z. I would be 100% for that. I would
Frieza and Cell Buddy Cop.
Oh no, absolutely. I'd love that because it's been in Z, it's been in GT, it's in the games, it's everywhere. So if you had that in the main timeline, that would just be the icing on the cake. Not gonna lie, I'd love that. Nick Wolf, 2 for GT Raditz. What if Tuffles conquered Saiyans after the loss of Sadala, making conflict with Baby more morally grey? What if Baby resurrected the Saiyans to possess them and make himself stronger? Oh, okay. Well, we are thinking about the second part of GT Raditz, so we'll see about that.
We have some
we'll
ideas.
We'll make some notes on that, Nick. So thank you very much. We'll be in touch. But definitely on this Tuesday, we're going to be covering the movies for What If Raditz. We're going to be covering the first 6 movies. Basically, the first couple of movies, nothing really happens. But the two cooler movies...
Are you saying that people are now allowed to ask you when Broly?
Yes, but it won't be It won't be Tuesday. Oh, Raditz versus Broly. The first one. Oh, jeez. Oh, God. Oh, jeez. Oh, wow. Okay, that's...
Kakarot! Can he just shut up? Kakarot!
It's like, oh, jeez, stop saying that name. It's bad enough when I say it.
He's refusing to pay attention to me.
Firebrand 128. What if Frieza, Cell, etc. souls got recycled into a new person, like Kid Buu and Oob? We'd have Azir and Leek, as we said earlier.
Azir.
Not so perfect Leek. And like Gorodin Azir.
Azir sounds like a fan-made Undertale character.
If you divide it, instead of calling it Azir, if you could also divide it by the actual syllables and call them Zoffrey.
Oh
yeah.
Duh,
and have him be like a Joffrey style brat from Game of Thrones.
Oh, that'd be fun. no, definitely. All right, okay. Let's do anime guy. What if Kaba, Khalifa, and Kale end up on Universe 7 Earth sometime during DBZ or Z? Well, if they, I think they probably become Super Saiyans at roughly the same time when everyone else does, with the tingly back thing. But
I mean, they listen. Like that's kind of tricky because they are much younger, so they would be kids.
oh, they
at
would be
this point.
kids, but at the same time, they would blend in a lot more. They'd blend in and actually be quite civil, and no one would bat an eyelid. No, they'd be just regular kids. Yeah, if with the right training and stuff and the right nurturing, because no one would really think they're not like Universe 7 Saiyans. They're not aggressive, so I think they blend in naturally, and no one would notice. And it would only be when, all that stuff on with the Saiyans and stuff like that, they'd be thinking, "Hang on a minute, they look quite familiar," and it just goes from there. So I think that'd be quite interesting. Bo Bogus. Xenoverse crossover idea. What if Pardo or any time patroller discovered your other what ifs? Would they try to correct time or leave them alone? Well, we do want to have this omniversal thing that we have in mind, so we will get to that eventually. We will figure that out. Carnage Rage. What if Piccolo went with the Namekians after Frieza? I think he
We
did
have that
consider-
in Napa.
Sorry?
We have that in Napa. We have that in
Oh, yes,
Napa.
we do. So what if Napa turned good? I almost forgot about that.
Yeah, like I mean, Nail fused with Namekians, but with Piccolo. But yeah, like basically they are one person and they stayed. So
Yeah,
we have
exactly.
that in Napa.
So basically,
I think
Nail had more authority to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that if it was just a situation with Piccolo still being the dominant personality, I just don't think he'd ever bring himself to do that, because Piccolo at his core is very, very different from the Namekians, the Namekian people of his homeworld. And that's partly because of the fact that Kami himself, or rather the nameless Namekian that he once was, the whole reason he wasn't a pure-hearted, good Namekian like those raised on Namek is because of his time amongst and association with humans, which gave him such a different life upbringing.
Yeah, no,
and
definitely.
And Piccolo's very much the same way, even though he spends a lot of his time alone, meditating or being like out in the wastelands. He has experienced a life growing up, during his short-lived lifespan. He's actually very young. He has interacted with humans, and he's seen the best and worst that humans have to offer. And I just don't think he'd be able to relate to his people.
No, he would. I would agree with that. That's pretty much why he wouldn't do it. But yeah, we got to keep going because we still got a lot to get through.
Yeah.
So, Carnix. What if Captain Ginyu turned good? Frieza would see right through it and he'd be obliterated. That's the thing. Ginyu Force, they'd have the bigger, the stronger guys. They wouldn't stand a chance because Frieza would just would blast them away for insubordination.
And as Broly movie shows, we don't know if they aren't some how long is their lifespan, if there are some sort of genetic mutants. We don't know the official lore. We don't know if they unfreeze them when they are needed to make a cute little dance. We know very little about them.
Yeah, no, definitely. There needs to be a bit more evidence. The Hobnob Man. What if Gohan turned Super Saiyan when Piccolo saved him from Napa? That is what if Gohan went Super Saiyan early. He would eviscerate Napa. And Vegeta would be just going, wait, time out! That's pretty much what if Gohan went Super Saiyan early. Check that out. There is 3 parts currently. Jordan Thompson. What if Shallot was in the Dragonball timeline? I bet he'd be a brother to Goku, wouldn't he? I think he would be. He'd be quite easygoing and wanting to learn about Saiyan heritage. So I think he would definitely work in that one. But again, I need to look at more of the Legends game to understand that more properly. Definitely. Nick Wolf, 2 silly ones. What if Marjib could summon Super Buu like a JoJo stan? Marjin Carpet Raido. And what if Jiren and Giran fused? Patara and or Dance. Giran, I think that's his master. I believe so. But basically...
No, his master is Gichin.
Oh, Gichin. Oh, Jiren and Giran.
I don't know who Giran
I don't know
is.
who Giran is, to be honest. I can't answer that question, I'm afraid. Marjube could summon Super Buu like a JoJo stan. That'd be kind of cool. And that would actually, I don't care. It would make Marju more relevant, so I'm all for it.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
absolutely. If he could do that as like a genie, that would be so cool. Definitely. Heartless Fang, what if the Universe 6 humans invaded Universe 7 Earth? Oh, so basically the ones that basically they tore themselves apart, and then they were like, oh, let's go to this other Earth. I don't think they do that. I think a lot of the people just want to have a home, an Earth that's not been like scorched. So I think they just want a home. But I think that
I mean, that could, make the whole Star Trek Mirror Universe thing, with evil versions of humans.
That's definitely a fair point.
The Shinhan with a goatee,
Oh no, that would mean that it automatically screams alternate future. Jordan Thompson says, "What if Shallot was in the Dragon Ball timeline?" We did just cover that, so that was a duplicate thing. So thank you, Jordan, all the same. EC Cones, what if Cooler was canon? That is gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Yeah,
it's inevitable.
He's the second most popular movie villain after Broly,
and Frieza, of course.
Well, I don't include Frieza in that, but as movie villain because he was already a canon villain. So I would say,
no, that's fair. No, definitely.
From the original movie run, Broly got 3 films. Cooler got 2. Cooler was the most popular of the non-canon villains that were introduced at that time. I think that there's a lot of push from the fans, both in the West and in Japan, for Cooler to be canon. They just have to find a way to really kind of make the narrative work.
Oh, right. Okay.
If you guys haven't figured out, I might be one of those fans.
You make it obvious, Haverok.
I know.
Oh, okay. The Monster Beast Giran. Oh, from like the 21st tournament. Oh
my.
Oh, okay. That's a deep cut.
That's a very deep cut.
Oh, dang. Okay, that's fair. No, that's definitely fair. Well, in that case, if they fused, you'd have. Well, he'd be more interesting. He'd be definitely more interesting. That's for sure. Yeah. EC Cones again. What if an albino Namekian survived? No. I would know. It was Crillon the whole time. Ha! Surprise! We remember, Lord Guru. We remember.
And he would fuse with Piccolo.
Oh dear. Podo, what would you say are the rules for making a good Dragon Ball OC? And how can you make an OC related to a canon movie character? Funny you should say that. There is a bonus video that's coming out tomorrow, and Haverok's seen it, and Sophie's seen it. And if you stick around, for a little bit, tell you what, if I can rush through these quickly, I'll actually play it on this stream, so you can check it out.
Gotta hurry
in advance. So we gotta run. We gotta keep going. Dylan Patterson, what if Universe 6 won the Universe 6-7 tourney? Well, we'd have all the characters. I think all the characters would just live in Universe 6. And I think we'd actually get to see Planet 6 Sadala. So I don't think really much would change in the grand scheme of things. Only Champa would just be more insufferable, pretty much. He'd be definitely like that. Darksnake X5. What if Android 17 was a female and she also loved Crillon? Oh, anime fan service hijinks.
Crillon gets stuck in a love triangle between a pair of blonde twins.
I don't know whether to be intimidated or aroused even more.
I don't know. It would probably be one of those things that would work as an almost kind of like funny filler episode or filler arc where you'd have a situation like 17. Like if you assume Crillon already hooked up with 18, then it would be a situation of shenanigans with 17 trying to like win Crillon over away from 18. If it's a situation where Crillon hasn't chosen yet, then it would be 17 versus 18 and trying to see who could make Crillon love them first.
Yeah, I think that's a good assessment.
It sounds like something straight off Dragon Ball SD, by the way.
It sounds I'm gonna be honest. It sounds horrible.
Yes.
Yeah.
It sounds horrible.
Yeah, okay. Let's move away from that. Nick Wolf, what if the people of Earth didn't forget life-threatening events like King Piccolo, the Saiyan attack, and the Z Fighters were well publicized? I think they are, kind of. It's just, again, the public do forget. And it's like, you know, Kay says in Men in Black, so a person isn't stupid, people are dumb. As in, like, there are individual people that probably do remember, but it's just like the populace and the media don't in that world.
And don't forget that they like a good celebrity face. And if they aren't A, photogenic, or B, like good with the press and charismatic, which most of the Z Fighters aren't.
Yeah.
Like at most you'd probably wind up with a situation where if they were the public face of the Guardians of like the Earth, it would probably give Yamcha more to do, because Yamcha being a baseball star, he would wind up being their kind of like their PR guy.
Yeah, no, pretty much. Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah. Jordan Thunder, Masako, I've been trying to make one of these forever. I have a what if that has been on my mind. What if Goku was sent to Beerus' planet and Vegeta was sent to Earth? Like, as kids. I think Whis would have taken him in, or maybe found somewhere else, or maybe have just taken him back to Planet Vegeta and then find, oh my goodness, it actually has been done. And then probably would have found a more responsible place. I don't think that Whis is the kind of person who would look after a kid. I don't know. Maybe if Beerus is during Beerus' nap, he might keep him around to be entertained. And then you just have Uncle Whis. That'd actually be kind of cute. That'd be cute in a way.
I personally think what would have wound up happening is that Whis would have found him. He'd have been like, oh, how interesting. And then he'd say, well, I need to find a suitable planet to send you to. Yeah. And then he would have probably just blipped Goku to Earth anyway.
Yeah.
Maybe he would observe him for a moment.
Yeah.
You know, like keep an eye on him. How's that little Saiyan that I found? Let's see.
Yeah, that's true. He'd probably be watching over Goku and keeping him safe. Probably. Just out of interest. Vanda Toy Rescue. Yeah. What if Dragon Ball was never retcon? The first explanation for anything stuck. Ooh, that's one to unpack. That actually, make a note of that, Haverok. So basically, we just go back. Here is like the first instance of something and it doesn't change. Like Purunga. Like you could only bring back one person at a time. Oh, that was instantly forgotten. Yeah, for later arcs. But no, if you get stuck for that. Auto Johnny, what if Dragon Ball took place in feudal Japan? It'd be more honorable and stuff like that, but I think it would be nowhere near as popular as it was in the States and stuff like that.
Yeah,
in terms
I
of,
think that the feudal timeline doesn't actually blend as well with the kind of like pseudo-futuristic aspect of it.
Yeah, I'd just say go watch Inuyasha, pretty much. And that's probably a better blend. Dean Cho, what if Dr. Gero saved his son after Goku's attack? aka, what if 16 was the first cyborg? So basically, if 16 didn't die, pretty much, yeah, when he was a human. So basically, he'd be like a proper like cyborg instead of a robot.
Question is, would Gero go after Goku? Because I think his main motivation was his son. I don't think it though.
The main motivation can't be his son, because I mean, if you're thinking in DBZA terms, then 16 died during Goku's attack. But in truth, the official explanation that was given for 16's death was he was in a firefight with one of the Red Ribbon Army's many enemies and was brought down by a bullet.
Crossfire.
So
true. I forgot about this.
Yeah,
true.
True. No, definitely. Seat and Tube. What if the classic Dragon Ball movies were canon? You can check out one of my first, I think that's my first ever what if. What if Dragon Ball movies were canon? You can check that back out from 2016. Definitely. November 2016, I managed to tie them all together. And I was really proud of that. So you can check out that one of my oldest videos on the channel. So you can definitely check that out. Tristan Mabbit. Okay, what if future Gohan survived, but they don't ever look for new Namek? Pretty much that's what we do in What If Goku, future Gohan's... Oh, no, actually, no. That's actually a variation. So basically, they do survive, but it's a case of finding another way. So if they don't ever find it. I think eventually King Kai would have found it. Eventually. He would have found it, but it would have taken much longer. So it wouldn't have been an instant fix.
Yeah.
Like, New Namek would have been a thing, because Gohan would have remembered the Nameks were in New Namek, and King Kai would help. Like, say, he'd be he'd be so remorseful that he's not been able to help much. So he'd be just go like, yeah, okay, guys, yeah, I'll do you a solid. I owe you one. Pretty much.
I always kind of get the feeling that King Kai, he helps a lot more than he probably should, which is kind of one of the reasons why he didn't help as much in the Bad Future arc. But I really do think like giving them directions to Namek wouldn't have been a bad idea.
Yeah, that could have helped. Definitely, that's the least he could do. Jeff Thompson, what if Chichi had a drive to fight similar to Goku's? How might she have impacted the early story in Z if she trained with Roshi? So basically, what if Chichi trained like Goku? Again, I think that's kind of going off the back of a what if that we did. That was like talking about what if Chichi tagged in with Goku.
What if Goku was female addresses that too.
Yeah,
I think that
motivation to being equal, definitely. So what if Goku was female pretty much covers that in quite a good amount of detail. Shaku Masquerade, what if Chichi remarried Satan after the Cell Saga? So basically, if Chichi married Mr. Satan, oh god, no, that would not.
No. I don't think she would. Chichi is a bit picky.
I don't think he would either. I don't think he would.
Yeah, because that's the thing is that like disregarding any filler that the anime added in, Mr. Satan is one of those characters who you get the feeling that he was actually very devoted to his wife.
Oh, yes.
And it's one of the reasons why he dotes on his daughter so much.
No,
like
definitely,
he loves
absolutely.
Fidel so much.
No, definitely. He's a guy that he wouldn't remarry, but I think eventually he'd just end up just caring about himself. But just in a non-threatening, inoffensive way.
Yeah.
That's just him being him for the cameras, pretty much. EC Cones, what if Imperfect Cell absorbed Android 18 first? We have covered that a couple of times, but basically we all think that he probably would have just been a bit more calculating, more shrewd, and less, like, you know, less of a hothead, pretty much. Probably, like, would have just gotten the job done without having to, like, basically just go, I'm just gonna shout until I get what I want! Pretty much. That's what happened. He's go, I'm just gonna stay here, I'm gonna hold my breath until you come out! Like, he probably would have just been skulking around, pretty much like Imperfect Cell, and just waited for them to slip up, and then say, on them instantly, with more power. The Jurassic Show. What if Bartok Tarball joined the Galactic Patrol? So basically, if Tarball decided to be the goody two-shoes. I think they could actually, Jocko would probably appreciate that, because Tarball would have a lot of intel about the Saiyan royal family. And basically, this could actually be quite useful. And also, hey, it might get him a promotion to make an even more super elite.
And if Bartok was in the Galactic Patrol, he'd be the guy who was always making the chief yell about how he's a loose cannon.
Yeah, it's like,
needs
dang it, Bartok! Dang it, Bartok! You're supposed to do it by the book.
Turning your back.
That's why we're pairing you with our new recruit, Regular Legs.
Okay, Carnix. What if Piccolo never turned good? You could check out What If Dragon Ball Z Never Happened. That's pretty much what Piccolo did. He was never remorseful about Goku dying, so you could check that out. Seaton on Tube. Hey, what if King Gurames and Lucifer became canon? Oh yes, from one of the earlier movies. Oh yeah. I don't know, actually.
That would change a lot of stuff about Demon Realm and Makaioshin. And
yeah.
When we did that video about, about the demons, that's a very, very, very deep mine. And
yeah.
And that it conflicts a lot.
Yeah, I think a lot would change, definitely. Yeah, in terms of, like, the later stuff. EC Cones, what if Piccolo laid an egg? He could easily do it, but I think Piccolo at the moment, he's quite young for a Namekian. So I think at the moment, he's just happy having Gohan as like someone, as a surrogate son. Just not in the typical Mimi way, but as in like, I genuinely care for this kid. And I like
and for
Yeah, exactly. So he doesn't need to. He's already got a family.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty much open and shut. Dark Snake X. What if Future Trunks was female and he had feelings for Master Gohan?
Well, first things first is disregarding any kind of connections this might have to theoretical what ifs. If Trunks, or rather like Bulla in this case, had been the firstborn, I think any crush that they might have had on future Gohan would have been that kind of sort of precocious schoolgirl crush that sometimes students have for their teachers. But Gohan by that point in time is a good deal older than Trunks was when he began Trunks' training. So I don't think that he would entertain any kind of notion of romance between him and his pupil.
Yeah.
At the very least, not well after they managed to hit adulthood.
Yeah.
By which point it's kind of too late for Gohan because he dies.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't think it would realistically happen, and I agree with you, Sophie.
It could have some interesting implications for kind of like having to confront this theoretical Fem Trunks or Bulla, whoever you want to refer to them as. Could have some interesting little conversations, maybe some theoretical tidbits about kind of finding her own closure by talking to young Gohan. In the past when she time travels. Finding her own closure that way.
That's definitely fair. Yeah. Mark Galvin, what if Vegeta was humble? So basically, if he was just like what he is in the latter stage of Super all the time, I think he'd actually, we probably would have had semi-perfect Cell stay semi-perfect Cell and then be obliterated. We would have not had Kid Buu, definitely.
No Majin Vegeta.
Yeah, exactly. No Majin Vegeta. Basically, the world would not be dominated by Vegeta's arrogance and just determination to basically screw everything up. Pretty much.
Maybe Napa would have survived.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Logan R. What if the 3 Saiyans and a baby, or 3 fighters and a baby? The baby being Frieza. That's pretty much Dragonball Super Broly. 3 fighters and a baby. Baby Frieza. Frieza, oh my, I am baby. It's like
boss baby.
The boss baby.
2 Saiyans abandon a baby to be beaten by a 3rd Saiyan.
Oh, Dylan Patterson. If Universe 7 lost Earth, who would Beerus find for the Tournament of Power? Oh, he'd be screwed. Yeah. No, Beerus would be like, hey, brother, I need my fighters back. And I think Shampoo would say, if I do this for you, what will you do for me? And then Beerus would have to be like, I'll do what you want. Even if you wear a funny dress and do a little dance for me. Yes, whatever, I just want to survive. And then basically he just do it, and we just have a funny scene at the end of the arc with Beerus just wearing a funny little dress and doing a dance.
Or
the bingo dance.
Would be like, can we invite the filler guys? There is that Pycon guy,
or something like that. That's fair. Logan R. What if Yamcha Bulma took care of Piccolo Jr.? So basically, if they found basically
if
at the end of it,
Bulma and Yamcha found him after his birth and adopted him.
Depends. Unless he knew that they had a connection to Goku, Piccolo would basically go like, I will bide my time with these humans and learn as much I can about my opponent, and when the time is right, I will strike.
He could soften a little bit though.
Yeah, he will over time, but his initial intentions would be to basically gain intel. But then ultimately he find out.
Can you imagine Piccolo calling Yamcha dad?
Can you imagine that with anyone calling Yamcha dad?
Or Piccolo calling Bulma mom?
Can you imagine Piccolo playing baseball with Yamcha?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, Yamcha teaching him playing catch when he's still a little Namekian.
That's my boy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Fan arts. We need fan arts.
Oh, Dylan Patterson. What if King Kai was Supreme Kai the whole time? That would be a bit of a twist. So basically,
so you mean before Toriyama kept retconning the structure
if he was
of heaven?
always the Supreme Kai, and then basically everyone finds out that King Kai's an even more bigger deal. And it's just like, what, King Kai? I didn't know you were like this. Well, what do you think? You never ask. You never ask what I do.
Any obligation to tell you.
It's like, I don't have to tell you anything. It's pretty much just like, well, you never asked. Jonathan Norris, what if Roshi gained Ultra Instinct in Dragon Ball? Oh, he did. Toyotaro said so. In the manga, apparently, by him dodging Jiren twice.
Kakashi does.
Yes, pretty much just talk to Toyotaro. Firebrand128, well, put my ideas in the subreddit if you want to check it later. Thank you, Firebrand. I will check that out in the morrow after this because I'm dead tired. But thank you, it is there. And Blue Greon, what if Goku stayed after the Cell arc? My brother and I talked about it for a bit and came to the conclusion that there would be no Super Saiyan 3. Vegeta wouldn't be as evil and Babidi controls Trunks. Yes, I think there would be no Super Saiyan 3, but there would be a much stronger Super Saiyan 2. Vegeta wouldn't be as evil. That's definitely true because Goku's there. They train more and they probably gel better. So those first two I'd agree with. Babidi controls Trunks. Also, like
no margins Saiyan, I would say in that.
Yeah, no, I don't think margins.
I think it would kind of. I think if it would kind of be a situation where you'd have to finagle a couple of things. Like, I think that if he was going to awaken the latent evil inside of anybody, it would probably be Piccolo in that situation, or it would be Gohan.
Yeah.
Because you actually get a situation where Gohan probably wouldn't be as well adjusted if Goku had survived. And thus the time skip between him being torn between what Goku wants for his son and, you know, kind of wanting to see him become like a warrior and stuff like that, wants him to join him and Goten training and all this other kind of stuff. Goten's relationship with Goku would be really good, but Gohan would be torn between his personal desire to pursue scholarly stuff and feeling like he needs to live up to his father's legacy, and it would make him bitter.
We kind of did that in What If Napa. So.
Yeah, kind of did that in What If Napa.
Alright, okay. Shark and Masquerade. What if Baby's Cannon and Broly, Jeets, and Goku fought it? We pretty much had some of that in Super Dragon Ball Heroes with a baby-esque villain. We get Kami Oren Toothpaste Fighter, and then this big kaiju thing, which everyone really doesn't like the design for, pretty much. Look to Super Dragon Ball Heroes in that regard. And Seaton on Tube again, what if Goku was Yamoshi reincarnated? Surprise! I was the Super Saiyan God the whole time. Oh, that would make everyone just go, what?
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised.
I would be most upset.
If that was the twist, I'd be livid. I would be very livid. I would be... Oh. Yeah. It'd be like...
I'd rather say that... I feel that indication might be that Vegeta and Goku are, descendants from Yamoshi.
I get a feeling about that. Anyway.
Kind of a Naruto Sasuke situation.
Yeah. I'm like a bit...
I prefer Yamcha being the reincarnation of Yamoshi.
Yamchoshi.
Yeah.
Yamoshi.
I'm just like, no, just...
No, please no.
No, definitely not. Anyway, we have some time, so I think I might grab the video of a media file.
Excellent.
Media source. Do that, and I'm going to grab this and let's check this out. So you can check out this video that's going to go out tomorrow. Now let's see if we can make this work. Alright, let's just zoom out like this, and then, oh, no.
Hi, I'm Mark.
And then, can you guys hear it?
Hi, I'm MasakoX, and I'm here to teach you about the wonders, marvels, and trials that goes into making your own original character. So cool! Now before we begin, I'd like to bring to your attention the marvelous workings of today's sponsor for this videogram, NordVPN. With servers based in over 60 countries, their military-grade encryption technology keeps me and you safe from nefarious ideas and ne'er-do-wells who wish to tell you the wrong ways to write your own original characters, as well as steal your personal information. Not cool. Easy to use and simple to install, you can get started in a couple of clicks, and with a few clicks more, visiting nordvpn.com/Masako, you're able to get a 3-year plan. That's right, 3 years! On top of that, if you then enter the code Masako as well at checkout, you get a bonus month of use for free! So give NordVPN a go by visiting nordvpn.com/MASAKO and use the code Masako for that free month and get your thinking caps a-buzzing in comfort. Thank you! In this short infomercial video, I shall be breaking down the steps that you can take to make an original character which is both genuine, plausible, as well as entertaining or interesting to look at. Let's begin! Welcome back! To begin, you need to understand the world your characters are going to live in. Is this world the following? A. Something you know everything about. B. You know some things about from what you recall. C. You recently just discovered this universe. Or D. I just felt like it. If your response is either C or D, then you are wrong and that you should stop! Wait before you create. It is imperative that your character fits inside this universe like a glove, so that you do not inflict upon the world the dreaded disease that is the eye roll. Before you commit to making an OC, get to know the series that you are wishing to represent. Watch several episodes or take notice of a character you wish to adapt or are inspired by. Once you have spent a good amount of time absorbing the lore of your chosen show, then you may start to jot down ideas in your conveniently placed notebook which accompanies this videogram. Now we may move on to step 2, thusly. This is now step 2. If you wish to make your character the strongest person in this lore, stop! Try to balance your character like a finely tuned set of antique scales. Or these two things. Perfect balance makes people smile. Have your character convey certain flaws within their personality which conveys a particular quirk or internal struggle. Something that can give them a character arc which allows them to grow over the course of a story. Something to strive to over a story's duration within the world of fan fiction. For example, my OC Ranch here may be the more logical child in the Dragonball universe, but she is still a child. As a result, she is prone to tantrums, and thanks to her Saiyan nature, she can get impulsive, and this may end up with rash decisions being made. Like turning Super Saiyan 3 even though she knows it's useless. Silly Ranch. Yeah, you're silly. By instilling negative or less than perfect qualities within your OC, you're able to increase the plausibility of your creation within the universe and will lead to the ultimate prize, which is endearment. Endearment is the holy grail for any aspiring creative. This means that your creation is charming enough to make them memorable to your audience. Take time thinking up of a personality which you yourself would like to be around, or if you wish to go for an edgier aspect, make sure it's not too in your face or repetitive. Instead, eke it out over time. By taking these steps on board, your character will be a likable soul with a believable goal, and will be popular and everyone wants to be their friend. Neat. If you have followed parts 1 and 2, then part 3 should come naturally. In short, avoid making your character too much of a visual standout. Overly sexy attire or different clothing, altogether from the universe your OC lives in, will undo all your hard work, personality and knowledge-wise. Look to what other characters wear in the show, what kind of fashion is there, and then add your creative spin on them, which is in keeping with your OC. That way, it would make sense if another character were to say, borrow your OC's clothes. They would fit right in. When it comes to what is alluring, be tasteful. The imagination is a powerful thing. Oh yeah, that's the stuff. Use yours well, and your audience will use theirs well as well. So remember, know your world, balance your character, and be real with look and feel. Got it? Good! Now, stop! And check out some of our other videos on this channel. And until next time, take care and good night.
Alright, okay. I did enjoy that.
I enjoy it so much.
Yeah, there's gonna be we've actually got one of the musicians from R&R to like do like some like little cheesy background music for it. There's a couple of extra graphics that I want to do, so this isn't the final version. But yeah, that's pretty much it. You'll see that tomorrow. in the more final version. And we'll do Grant's one just to round things off. What if after Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan, each Saiyan got their own transformation? Like Vegeta's form Beyond Blue was only his and Goku Gohan would get their own. We cover that with Sparking Joy, Divine Mind, which I actually found out that somebody's made into a Xenoverse 2 mod.
Oh,
Yeah, check out SLO Plays, and they've made a mod for Sparking Joy and Divine Mind.
The
Definitely.
pinnacle of knowing you've made it in the what if or OC realm of Dragon Ball is when somebody makes a mod for your creation.
Yeah, absolutely. But in terms of their own transformations, I agree with this. You know, if Vegeta's the only one that has Blue 2, and, you know, Gohan has Ultimate, and Goku's the only one that has Ultra Instinct, I'd be okay with that. They all have their own different combinations, so I'm cool with that. That seems pretty neat.
I'm not going to spoil a secret that this video will have part 2 someday. There are notes somewhere for part 2.
Definitely. And also, Roland Whittingham made a comment about what if Masako made a series where he reviews Dragon Ball OCs. I think we'll do that. I think we will. As Haverok said, this feels like a very deep, dark well, so I will do a video where I rate your OCs. And I'm like, I won't be mean. I'm not going to be mean about it. I'm just going to be like, genuinely add some positive critique. As in, like, you know, yeah, you need to... Basically, because if you're mean about every single OC ever, what's the effect about when you find one that is genuinely bad? You just go, oh, he says that all the time. So basically, if I go, well, that's a bad OC, that has more weight to it. But I would say,
you don't have
why
to be.
it's
You don't
bad.
have to be cruel about it. You just need to. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, you know, I would definitely. That'd be a lot of fun. Definitely. Anyway, let's wrap up today's stream, and everyone, thank you so much for joining. Thank you, Sophie and Haverok, for joining us as well.
You're very welcome. Thanks for having me.
That's all right. And we shall see you all guys next week, I think, for another What If Roundtable. Check out the OC video final that will come out tomorrow. And, of course, Saturday's What If video. So until next time, guys, have a good night and take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.